Hello everyone and welcome to The Green Flame, the Deep Green Resistance broadcast that brings you radical analysis, practical skills, and artistic expression from the revolutionary movement to defend the planet and rebuild just human communities. I am your host and comrade Max Wilbert. The reason I'm putting out a show at the moment is because there's an upcoming event that I want to invite all of the listeners to this show to attend. It's happening on Saturday, October 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and it's called Ecology of Spirit, Biocentrism, Animism, and the Environmental Crisis. I've been interested for well over a decade now in the relationship between how we look at the world, how we perceive the world and other beings within it, and how we act towards them. There is a very well noted and understood phenomena across the world of indigenous cultures and land-based cultures holding worldviews that see the world as animate, as alive, as full of volition and intelligence and independence. And that's often true not just of what we think of as alive, animals and plants and so on, but also what Western science often treats as dead matter, things like rivers, mountains, soils, and so on. This relationship is incredibly important because it determines how societies and how individuals interact with the natural world and the other forms of life, the other things around us on this planet. So what we see throughout history is that as the Enlightenment and the scientific revolution and the rise of capitalism take this sort of animate world and increasingly create something dead out of it, create a set of material resources. As we see the rise of I think, therefore I am, a dualistic view and interpretation of what the world is, and the relationship between human beings and our own bodies, let alone the bodies of other beings, the bodies of mountains and rivers and so on, that this is a key ideological factor behind the destruction of the planet. This is the break that separates people from nature ideologically in their minds, in their spirits, in their hearts, that corresponds with a physical break as we have increasing enclosure of the commons, removal of people from land, and their enclosure as human beings into a wage labor-driven economy. So this idea of biocentrism, of animism, reverses that worldview. It reverses the utilitarian materialism that incorporates all of this in the Western scientific rationalist worldview of Descartes and Francis Bacon and others like them. I believe that biocentrism, that animism, is essential if we are going to reverse the destruction of the planet, that we must re-sacralize our relationship to the natural world, that we must reconceptualize what the world is, what it is made up of. We must find again a reverence for the mystery, a humility in the face of the natural world, rather than, as Descartes and Francis Bacon advocated, a sense of lustful exploration that fueled vivisection, that fueled colonialism, that fueled the violation of boundaries. Instead, we need to return to a reverence and a sense of wonder and awe at the beauty, the majesty, the strangeness, the unknowableness of this world that we live in. The event that's coming up on October 21st, I'll say the time and date again, Saturday, October 21st, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And and 8 p.m. UTC. This event will seek to bring together a discussion of these issues along with resistance. because I believe that these ideas around biocentrism, animism, and alternative spirituality are incredibly powerful. In our world, they have mostly been co-opted by forces that lead only to navel-gazing, to put it politely. We want to connect this worldview to authentic, organized political resistance to the destruction of the planet. And we need your help to do it. So on October 21st, this event will bring together various speakers, including my friend, the rainforest conservationist Suprabha Session, author Derek Jensen, Keala Kelly, Kanaka Maoli, Indigenous Hawaiian activist and friend, Lear Keith, the poet Will Falk, Animus Institute guide Rebecca Wildbear, the founder of First Voices Radio, Tiokasin Ghost Horse, and several others, Alan Clements, a former Buddhist monk. And I will be hosting this event. And we will attempt to explore these issues. One purpose of this event is a fundraiser. Deep Green Resistance is a small, independent political organization. We are radical, and so we do not receive funding from large mainstream organizations. Every dollar that we get comes from small grassroots donations, comes from everyday people of low financial means who act to support us in ways that who act to support us in ways that they can. So this fundraiser will be a 3-hour live streaming event. The live stream will be on our Facebook page and will also be viewable for people who are not on Facebook at givebutter.com. That's butter like the food, GIVEBUTTER, givebutter.com/ecology of spirit. We are hoping to sign up 100 new monthly donors to the organization. That's our goal for this event. One-time donations are excellent. It's a great way for people to support, but monthly donations, even if they're modest, help us to plan ahead for the future. They give us a reliable stream of funds that we can use to plan, to organize, to strategize, and to allocate those funds in advance to plan programs for the future. So this is really the backbone of our organization. Now, of course, we are not in this for money. We are in this to save the planet. Every dollar that we receive from donations goes directly to this kind of work. We don't have an office. We don't have high-paid staff. We're not wasting money on the things that large nonprofit organizations spend their money on. We're not hiring lobbyists in Washington, D.C. These funds are going directly to grassroots environmental activism, to our outreach efforts, to our organization efforts, to help us save the planet and spread these principles and spread these ideas as far as we possibly can. We have activists all over the world who are part of frontline struggles to defend forests and oceans and grasslands and wildlife species, fighting mining like I have been at Thacker Pass for the past few years, and we need your support to help these people continue their efforts. So if you can't be on the front lines yourself, if you're not in a position to be able to do that work, then please, we're asking for your support. We're asking for you to donate what you can, to set aside a certain small percentage of your income, whatever you can do, whatever you can afford. We understand that most of our supporters are poor and working class people. There are many people who are just giving $5 a month to DGR. It makes a difference. Other people are giving $20, $25, $50, $100 a month, and a few are giving more than that. And we have a profound gratitude for those who are able to do that. No matter what you can give, we have a profound gratitude for all of this, because by putting your money towards this work, you are making a commitment. You are putting your hard-earned dollars towards something that is meaningful to you. So that's our call for you. Set aside, Netflix, set aside some of your coffee, set aside a little bit of your money that would otherwise go towards something that maybe you enjoy but isn't helping the planet, and instead direct it in this direction. We know that it's very helpful to us, and we also know that for our donors, it's something that's very meaningful to them. We try and communicate with you as best we can to keep people updated and informed of where this money is going, how it's being used, what sort of campaigns and efforts we're engaged in. And if people want to get involved directly in deep green resistance themselves, we have a recruitment and a membership process that we can explain how to do that. So again, I hope people will join us on October 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC for a special 3-hour live streaming event, Ecology of Spirit, Biocentrism, Animism, and the Environmental Crisis. I hope to see you there. This is Max Wilbert, one of the hosts of the Green Flame podcast. I want to thank you for listening to our show and let you know a few ways that you can support the Green Flame. First, you can subscribe to our platform using the podcasting system of your choice. We're listed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, and all the rest. We're even on YouTube. Leaving us a positive review or rating on these platforms helps us reach a larger audience. You can also share these shows with your friends. If you're interested in donating to support the production of the Green Flame, please visit deepgreenresistance.org. And finally, the goal of this show is to activate people. So if you really want to support this show, start organizing in your own community. Thank you again for listening.